I'm Chris Clark, your Northeast Region Outreach Specialist for the Nutrient and Pest Management team. I'm going to talk to you today about plant tissue testing. Plant tissue testing is a great complement to regular soil testing that happens on Wisconsin farms. Combined together, soil and plant tissue lab results can provide you with troubleshooting information on what the soil is providing and what's not getting into the crop. Plant tissue is really useful for identifying a hidden hunger. So this means that you will get your lab results and the plant won't visually be showing any symptoms of a toxicity or a deficiency of any type of a nutrient. A2289 is a document that is going to be able to explain the best plant part at the proper growth stage to collect your tissue samples so that the information is meaningful from the laboratory. Make sure to use A2289 to collect your tissue samples for pretty much any crop that you can think of that's grown in Wisconsin. But corn, soybeans, and alfalfa are the most common. For example, in corn, when it is less than 1 foot, you collect the whole plant. So you'll cut it just below the roots, wipe off any of the dirt that's on there, collect a representative sample from your field of these whole plants, and then submit that to the laboratory. The next growth stage is when it is before tassel. You're going to collect the most fully developed leaf from the whorl down. So that would be the whorls at the top, and then you would collect this leaf from several representative plants and then submit as much of a sample as possible, more is always better, to the laboratory. When your corn plant hits tassel, like this field behind me, you're going to find the ear, and then you're going to locate the leaf that is below and opposite of the ear. Once again, when you reach tassel, the proper tissue plant part is below and opposite the ear. Once again, you would do that all throughout the field representatively and collect this tissue sample. The end of the season one is really popular. The information that farmers are getting from plant tissue is a snapshot of nutrients from when that sample was taken. This automatically includes all of the key plant elements, including nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, calcium, magnesium, sulfur, boron, zinc, manganese, iron, copper, and a few others are provided. They also come with sufficiency ranges that are based on research between the tissue result that comes from the laboratory and yield. So that is university data. While micronutrients are rarely deficient in Wisconsin soils, manure can also provide micronutrients as well as some starter fertilizers. Did you know that plant tissue results at the laboratory are more reliable than the soil tests for those same micronutrients? That's why soil and plant tissue results are so complementary. The plant tissue report will rank your results as low, optimal, or high, or excessive. In the last 5 years, more and more farms are using plant tissue testing. On some farms, it's commonplace to pull one plant tissue sample per field each year to build their data and determine if there are any trends based on what crop is grown in that field, and each particular field creates a database. Farmers, along with crop consultants, are also using technology to guide where they're going to plant tissue sample. For example, looking at yield maps and then pulling those tissue samples from low yielding areas and then comparing the results of tissue samples from high yielding areas. They also can use aerial imagery to pull the different samples from the different colored zones. This helps to ground truth the NDVI images. Farmers are becoming more sustainable because they're able to adjust their fertilizer rates for the next growing season in that field. Plant tissue is especially useful for identifying sulfur deficiency in alfalfa. The plant tissue reports are basically your report card for your fertilizer effectiveness. Again, it's best to not just base your results on one tissue sample, but multiple tissue samples over many growing seasons to avoid any of the impacts that might come from extreme weather on crop growth. I hope you plan on plant tissue sampling in the next growing season.